G'day, this is Simon at South OC Cars and Coffee. Now, I know I normally do Car of the Week. This morning, I was showing a motorcycle that, wow, this thing is so special. Has to be Motorcycle of the Week. This is Phil who owns it. Phil, what is it?
It's a 1970 Triumph TR6C.
And I've got Bob, who's been our longest serving volunteer, to join us because...
Really?
Well, you are.
Okay.
Bob actually works for another motorcycle company and knows a lot about this bike. So I said, why don't you come along and you can be on the video as well? Check this thing out.
Well, that's true, Simon. When I was a kid, a teenager, this bike was the coolest ever. As he said, it's a 1970 TR6C Trophy 650 Triumph. The distinction was single carb. The TR6R had low pipes, the TR6C had high pipes. Distinguished from the Bonneville because the Bonneville had twin carbs. But this is a single carb, absolutely beautiful original paint color. It takes me back to my youth. I love it.
Phil, this is such a beautiful motorcycle. When I first looked at little things like this heat shield across the exhaust, so many little details like the original decals and everything. Did you do all of this yourself?
I did all this
You
myself.
did. Wow, how long did it take you?
Well, it was about a year and a half.
You know what? That surprises me that you could get all this done in a year and a half because there's so much attention to detail. Let's talk about that.
Maybe 2 years.
Maybe 2 years. Let's talk about the process. How did you find it?
Well, I bought this back in the late 90s from a little shop called British Marketing down on Camino Capistrano.
Right.
And the reason I did was because I used to ride a 70 Triumph back in 70 Yamaha, 650 Yamaha back in high school, but I had a buddy who had a 67 TR6C.
Right.
And I loved that bike. That bike was, that was my passion. And so when I found this, I bought that. It spent a decade on the back porch, and so it didn't look too good. And so I restored it.
I mean, everything about it is beautiful. Is it the original color?
Yes, spring gold.
And there's lots of little things about this particular Triumph. Now, this was called a
Xenodiode.
Xenodiode. What does it do?
Well, it's a regulator of sorts. The current is regulated down, so it's essentially a regulator.
So, like a lot of old two-stroke engines of this era, it's probably got a magneto to generate electricity. This is what's regulating the electricity, I'm guessing. Right. And what's interesting is it's obviously air-cooled, which is why it's sitting up there with the fins on it. But a lot of the stuff that used to be done, like the lights and the switches on the headlight control, there's no fairing, there's none of that stuff. It's just such a beautiful motorcycle. It's funny, I really only started taking notice of motorcycles. A colleague I work with really took a liking to the new Thruxton that came out. And I remember him pointing out to me, he goes, have a look at the fuel injection and the air cleaner. It's designed to look like the original old Triumphs. There's so much similarity. It's just like the auto manufacturers with the Mustang and with the Camaro and with the Challenger went back to this retro styling. The motorcycles did the same thing, and I think it's because this era is arguably not only the most beautiful era for cars, I think it's one of the most beautiful era for motorcycles as well.
I think so, but that was because that was my era. That's what I grew up with, so I love these old British bikes.
So many beautiful details, the rubber on the side of the tank, all the decals and everything else. You've done a magnificent job, Phil.
Oh, thank you.
As a winner of Motorcycle of the Week, you get this Meguiar's complete kit, including the Hot Shine Foam Quick Interior Detailer, which you can use on the seat, of course, the Perfect Clarity Glass Cleaner, maybe the headlight for that one, the Ultimate Wash and Wax, the Hybrid Ceramic Detail, and the Microfiber. Keep this amazing Triumph Trophy 650 in the condition it's in, mate. Congratulations and thank you so much for bringing it out.
Thank you.